Good evening, RPG Limit Break, and we have another exciting matchup in the Highway to the Threemus Zone Lunar Table stage. We have Gaming with a Wraith versus Fleury14. I am joined in the commentator booth by Sheepwatcher. Sheepwatcher, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Bad Karma. This should be a really exciting Flurry 14 spot in the last 16 game with the Wraith. Spoiler.
Yeah, Flurry is playing for a guaranteed spot in the top 16. Even a loss with Flurry's strength of schedule will probably still get him in there. Unfortunately, Gaming with Wraith is mathematically out, but could be trying to spoil Flurry a little bit and get a win here.
Yeah, really, when you're eliminated from moving on, the second best feeling is knocking somebody else out, and that's what Gaming with a Wraith is going to be going for here. And we see our objectives. The objectives, you only have to do 3 of the 4, have Coco Forge, raise the big whale, unlock the sewer with the Baron key, and drop the magma key into the Agart well. This could be a really fascinating seed. It could be a really quick one.
All 3 of those objectives are really quick. You don't have to walk through a dungeon to complete. They're just go in, do something, walk right out. Um, Typically, you raise the big whale anyway as part of getting the darkness crystal, getting your grind going. We do have a Sid start, which could enable some Mac Giant grinding if we don't find a Tellus. It'll be really interesting to see what party members we get to go along with the Sid.
Yeah, in addition to the slightly speedy objectives, Sid is a very good starting character. He starts at level 20, which means he can handle most of the overworld bosses, mostly on his lonesome, maybe with a couple of other characters. But he also can transition into a great late game character. His agility can be slowed way down with a Dwarf Axe, with a Curse Ring, something like that, to make him a good anchor for that Z fight.
And with the seed that our Restreamer Ground Flyers rolled before, it could be a whole lot of rudeness hiding out there that having the sit early on will be going well. And hopefully these objectives and key items are spaced evenly out as we have our tracker, girl named Captain, hopefully going to keep us honest, keep the buttons lit up, make sure that we know exactly what we're doing up here, because I sure don't.
Yeah, thanks to our behind the scenes folks who are really putting in the work to make this enjoyable for everybody, while Bad Karma and I just gab for a while.
You hoping gets paired with the Sid right off the bat. I want to be mean. I want that Edward to show up, have both runners just not take it.
See, that Edward wouldn't be so mean because both runners would instantly leave him behind. I want a choice for the runners to make. I want a cane, make them really decide whether they want to continue the standard pattern of finding a black mage, finding a white mage, finding a Tella, or whether they want to transition into a punchy party.
Yeah, Kane's start is interesting because Kane and Sid share a lot of the same gear as we are getting underway here, and I've realized who I was talking about. Flurry has used Edward Stretch 3 times in this table stage already, and that's a Rosa.
And a blue robe gives an earth crystal.
Oh my!
And both runners happily going to take that Rosa along. Rosa, the best white mage, certainly somebody who can help out your party in all kinds of ways. She's a very good archer, and she gets the cure spells. Plus, if you grind her up enough, she gets white toward the end of the game, which is very useful.
Yeah, and with an Earth Crystal start, that opens up the Troya Treasury. We could hopefully play one of our favorite games throughout this tournament. It's been Rake That Treasury. While we are on T-Pro, the loot, not as great, especially with the sparse 60 flag on, but it is still higher tier, higher chances to get some of those better items.
Both runners will make a stop in Baron. The Troya Treasury, I'm sure on their minds, but not right away. And there is a Tella sitting with Leviathan in the Baron Inn. Both runners, if they don't see another Tella in a free character spot, would likely hit that up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, not a priority right out of the gate. Will be a priority once Ordeals is complete, though. Tella allows us to do the D machine grind later on, since we're going to be raising that big wheel as an objective anyway.
Turning into
Sorry, you're going a little robot there. I believe you're saying Flurry's heading into the watery pass. Gonna find an Edward. Not gonna take him now. Like I said, could be on the table. Is Gaming with the Wraith is heading to Troya. Gonna do the lesser treasury looting first. This is providing me with some decent gear. So a diamond ring there, dancing dagger. That's not bad. Bad little loot spot there.
No, but it's time to play everybody's favorite game.
Not super great. The Moonveil, however, gives this a minimum 4 out of 10. And the reason for that, depending on which way we got to go, that Moonveil can bail you out of a number of tough fights.
Yes, nothing really exceedingly top of the line. That Dwarf Axe is very useful. It can back row glitch. Certainly Sid, also Kane. There was a lightsaber, which if a Cecil comes around, might be tempted to take him and use that. Other than that, not a whole lot.
Yeah, with the vanilla agility flag on, a lot of runners have been fading Cecils just because they don't want to deal with that vanilla agility, hence speak of the devil. But I wouldn't be surprised to see, if there's not very many options. Right? I said we haven't seen any black mages. We've seen all roses so far.
And Flurry says no thanks for now. Although 3 roses at Z would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and there was a heroine robe somebody picked up. I can't remember if that was in the Troy Treasury or if that was in the Watery Pass that Flurry went to.
And Gaming with the Wraith just picked up that heroine robe in the Watery Pass. Very nice for Rosa if you want to turn her into a murdering archer.
Just needs a better bow than that short bow, but found charm arrows, so that is definitely a thing that's going to boost her up.
Flurry going to go to Troya and check out that treasury. Go ahead, Bad Karma.
I was going to say, I don't think Flurry's going to be too disappointed seeing this treasury. Got a lot of utility items. Flurry's very knowledgeable runner. All the runners at this stage are very knowledgeable. Flurry's going to find some weird ways to use some of this stuff, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. And Gaming with the Wraith is going to try and survive this storm, but the forecast does call for flurries.
Like ice flurries or, mud flurries?
Like shark flurries?
I mean, Gaming with the Wraith of this ghost is not going to worry about these flurries that you're forecasting.
I'd be more confident in his ability to handle flurries if his name was Gaming with a Wraith.
That means anything that's in that flurry is just going to stick to him.
But it's going to look nice. Silk
Yeah,
webs and life potions in that Troya bar.
you love to find them early, so you don't have to go hunting around for them. Silk webs have some utility, mostly for the Zeromus fight. We see people just picking 2, 3 up, but they can be used on a number of fights, and there's a great bow for that Rosa.
Gaming with a Wraith going to make our first dip into the outline cave.
Yeah, with the power that this Rosa is rocking, this will be over really quickly. Sid also able to make short work. There's only, 800-900 health at the spot. So, and with the items that we found, this should be a really quick check for our
Yeah.
runners. Another. Nice.
Yeah, that kind of shows the disappointment that was the Troya treasury a little bit. Dwarf axe is nice to find, but when you can find it in Antlion Cave just lying around.
We're just gonna high five here in the save room.
Oh, and that's a curse ring. See, saves our runners from having to hunt down the armor shops for it later.
Yeah, and that is huge, especially if since we have the fit for the long haul, we do have the permajoin flag on for those who have not watched one of these races. In this flag, once our runners choose a character, they can't get rid of it, get rid of the character. So these choices are very important in this early game while the party decisions have to be made.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why you see the runners being very, very picky about who they choose early on. They do need to be thinking about not only the early game, but also the end game and picking up any of these characters.
Just an Odin hanging out in the bottom of the antlion. This should not be an issue. I believe Fleury picked up some lit arrows.
Until 990.
That's why you pick up lit arrows.
But both runners make it through with a couple of hits. And they each get a pass.
Wow, okay, so getting a pass this early is really going to influence our runners' decisions. You know, knowing that if they can find their go mode here on Earth, will be able to easily. Fleury, as we've said before, is proficient with Eddie strats, can do them very well, has won a number of races with them. I haven't seen if Gaming with a Wraith is fluid in them or not, but getting that pass early is kind of cheap.
So for those of us who maybe have missed a couple of races in the tournament, what's the general idea behind Eddie strats? When do you want to do them? How do you do them?
Eddie strats, I'm not very well versed. Hello, Golbez at the top of Hobbs. Eddie strats are essentially, because Edward can hide, a base level Edward can actually beat Zeromus. And that's going to be using a combination of vampires, star veils, cure 3s, cure 2s actually, because it'll be base level. And really just knowing the fight, timing it out, and dodging every big bang, and keeping that wall up and reflecting the counter nuke from Zeromus back onto Zeromus.
Yeah, and the issue is that a lot of grinding options, if you don't have underground access, if you don't have the darkness crystal, are kind of off the table, so those Eddie strats become a lot more appealing. Getting the pass first gets us a ticket straight to Zeromus. It might make low-level strats, including an Eddie strat, more desirable to our runners.
Yeah, and with this Sid start, you can go into Zilch strat territory as well, where you only need 1200 HP to survive a nerf big bang. And, with a cure 3, you can recover that back up and get back and do the exact same thing that an Eddie strat would do.
Fleury defending Football Castle against the Dark Elf invasion takes care of that.
While Gaming with a Wraith is fighting the hardest boss in the game, the inventory boss.
I like to imagine that the inventory is just a big sack and you're just rooting around in there.
I mean, that's how I am just fumbling around in my normal inventory.
Yeah, and I just have a computer bag. I can't imagine having something that has 10 cabins in it.
Arty arrows from the defense of Fabul, though, they are good. Could find something rude up on Mount Ordeals that Archer Rosa can take care of with those arrows, though.
Yeah, they'll be helpful against dragon-type enemies, so if there are D-Lunars up there, for example, that could be useful.
Now, normally Wyvern is one of the 3 bosses, as we found our first Black Mage. Wyvern's one of the 3 bosses that can't gate the only path to the underground. The other one is Golbez, as we saw in Mount Hobbs, and Valvalis. But Wyvern at these spots with Artemis arrows is actually very, very doable. With how fast Rosa's going to be, she can get a shot off and kill Wyvern in one hit in a lot of these low-level spots before the Mega Nuke even comes out.
That is the dream. Gaming with the Wraith will come upon the King of Dragons, Bahamut, in the front spot.
Unfortunately, it doesn't count as a dragon for those Artemis arrows to work.
Still, doesn't actually attack. We'll just count down and do Mega Nuke at the end.
Like a dragon, talks like a dragon, shrugs a dragon, killing arrows off.
And Gaming with the Wraith says, a dragon? That's easy. Let me show you how to kill it with my simple step-by-step instructions. I make Mount Ordeals fun!
Mount Ordeals is already fun, you don't need to make it fun.
Gaming with the Wraith puts up a couple of Star Veils, which the Blue Robe and Baron helpfully gave to us at the beginning of the seed, and takes care of Bahamut Flurry right behind him.
You know, I've seen a number of races on the table flag. I want to say this is probably the 4th time I've seen this combination on this bridge. Bahamut really likes to play with his dolls.
Do you think Bahamut has something in common with, like, Dark Helmet from Spaceballs?
I mean, he spews out nonsense.
Yeah.
It just reflects right in him when his helmet falls down.
The dolls here can be annoying, but Gaming with the Wraith has that big bomb from the Troya Treasury. Who gave that Troya Treasury a Moon Veil out of 10?
I did.
And Flurry also takes care of the dolls, and Sid and Rosa petulantly throw them off the bridge.
Dolls having low health, split the normal 3,000 HP between them after the big doll takes a chunk first. And there is an objective.
Yep, Baron Key is needed to unlock that sewer, and with Tella just hanging out in Baron Inn, which both of our runners know, Mount Ordeals was already incentivized. This just solidifies that decision in their minds. Thanks to RopoDog13 for the raid. Welcome to RPG Limit Break. We're 15 minutes into this seed, and each runner has done mostly the same thing, except Flurry has also done a Fabul check and gotten Artemis arrows.
Yeah, and I would be a betting man, which I've lost every bet that I've said that on. These runners will probably be heading to Baron Inn to at least turn in that objective and get their Tella.
And the question would be, do these runners feel confident enough to go through that Baron Castle once they unlock the sewer if Baron Inn doesn't come up with, say, a Magma Key?
Yeah, that Baron key is 2 checks and a character, which, you know, our runners don't have a full party yet after seeing all roses right at the bat. As Gaming with the Wraith is heading to Safara, doing some more looting, doing some more shopping.
Flurry will make his way down the mountain, hope he doesn't trip over those dolls that he threw off the bridge.
Chat is throwing out as much rudeness as they can think of to throw at these runners by getting that early Baron key. We're seeing a Baigan at Leviathan request, a Legend Sword at Bahamut.
No.
Yep, as Flurry is heading to Baron, gonna peek these bosses, see if he can get through this Leviathan. He's only gonna have 400 HP in the first spot, and we'll see who the second boss is. Leviathan does cheat, takes off a quarter of your health right off the bat.
And if this Leviathan had more than 400 health, it would be more concerning because this spot doesn't have trivial magic attack, but it's quick enough, takes care of it.
Hello, Evil Wall.
This spot is very punchy,
but also slow. And with the armor that our runners have, we have a heroine robe on Rosa, we have samurai armor on Sid. I don't think that we'll be in danger of wiping here with how slow this is, but this will be kind of a slow fight. I would almost be tempted to throw that Grimoire.
Flurry slowed the wall down even more with the Silk Web. The Rosa and Sid are putting out decent damage. The thing I'd be most concerned about is that Petrify.
Ooh, there's a big crit. Gonna be rewarded with a fully powered Chatella and a spoon.
The spoon is a key item. We haven't seen anybody who could make any use of it so far.
In the table flags, the only one who can make a use of it is Edge and local shops who will buy it for 5,000 gil.
Are we sure that the spoon wasn't just misplaced from the kitchen in the end?
Very possible. I mean, that kitchen was serving a noodle and a wall. I mean, neither of them have a use for it. Flurry's gonna give us a look at the shop. Dwarf Castle is for sale. Seems to be the popular item.
Heading out of Baron, looks like he's going to refit, save, head back in, and give that Baron waterway a shot.
Yeah, Flurry has done all the checks available to him, so this is really the next place to go. Other than that crystal.
Yeah, it's really it's quicker than that Earth Crystal. It does give a character check.
Lilith Rod there is really nice for this Tella, though. Tella's going to be doing a lot of heavy work here soon with his full complement of spells. And while it's only 5 Wisdom, that's still a pretty good boost for Tella.
Yeah, Tella could use all the help he can get.
Gonna go with the safety save. I don't hate this. This is I forgot who gave us the first item.
A blue hook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, could be a water hack.
Our runners will definitely be hoping it's the water hack. And it is. We do have the free boss flag turned on, so this is 3 hits and Flurry will be through.
Well, the only consolation for us is that the gauntlet is hopefully in a tougher spot that our runners will have to fight through.
That is always the hope.
And a heads-up play from Fleury, taking off those Artemis arrows from Rosa so he doesn't waste any of them on this free fight.
Yeah, each arrow is going to be valuable. You want to make sure they're going to be used when they count, especially once you get into a tougher fight. Tella can just berserk Rosa, which will preserve those arrows.
Fleury is through, gonna check out who is usurping the throne. And Baigen got his promotion.
That sneaky snake-armed. Always just slithering around trying to get on that throne.
Baigen here will hit, but with Sid as armored up as he is, Sid is only going to take 1 damage from this. Shouldn't be too big of an issue here.
Nope, and there is the Zerk. Rose is going to be flinging arrows if Board-Face AI doesn't take out the Tella first.
Tella gets that Zerk off with 4 HP before the HP ran out.
I think Fleury planned it.
Another Lilith Rod for Gaming with Wraith.
Does come with the extra side effect of an instant cast of Sight, which can steal MP from party members instead of that long cast time.
The other nice thing about this party facing Baigen is both Sid and Rosa can attack from the back row. That Baigen can be a little annoying if you're trying to do physical damage to it from the front row.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but that arm is completely protecting half of Baigen's body, so he only takes half damage. And Fleury is through. See which character is going to be sent to the city of
Rydia and Mysidia.
Now that's our second Rydia. A lot of runners in this stage, especially having a Tella, especially knowing that Darkness Crystal is typically their path to the moon, will take both of those Rydias, do the D Machine while they're level 1, which cuts down the amount of D Machines needed to get Rydia to nuke in half.
I don't know if Fleury is thinking that, but Fleury does have 2 more character checks available to him before we even see what this key item is. So he might be holding out for a Palom instead of a Rydia.
Yeah, I like Palom more than Rydia just because Palom's HP curve is a little higher than Rydia's. He learned some of his spells earlier, but Rydia with slingshotting, Rydia is decent as well. Happy substitute.
A pigtail at the end of that trash can. Not useful right now. Will give a tier 7 item if you turn it in. Not an adamant armor. The adamant armors are turned off because they are way OP. Fleury going to see if this basement holds a free boss.
Yeah, a number of bosses down here can be doable with this party. Dark Imps, if you can, I think Fleury does have an hourglass.
And look at that, you called it.
Does that count as a commentator's curse or a blessing? I'm not sure yet.
Going to drop that hourglass. The imps had some actions queued up, but should be able to recover.
So, you know how I said Moonveil out of 10?
Yeah, those utility items have really paid off.
And this is going to be a huge infusion of XP if Fleury decides to do some life glitching.
It looks like that's what he wants to do, tweaking that top imp.
Now the problem with that, Fleury has to take his time here because he's got to make sure these old men are in the queue to be able to do lifes right after, Rosa.
If there's anything old men hate, it's standing in line. But it's for everybody else's good.
Now, as Groundfire pointed out, this Odin spot cannot have the only path to the underground. It can have the Darkness Crystal.
Rosa learns Berserk and Blink, and Fleury has a nice infusion of levels, and that's a pan. And that's spicy. Definitely gonna walk that out.
That enables 2 checks once we hit the underground. Since Fleury hasn't been able to do shield 1 since he hasn't been underground, that's going to be 3 checks right off the bat, plus the Fey March check. He's going to be really happy with that.
Very much so. Still don't have a way underground. It looks like that Earth Crystal, or maybe a hidden D-Mist, has our way underground.
Yeah, we have not checked either of the spots, the Vanilla Demon spot or the Waterfall, I believe.
No, neither the Mist Cave nor the Waterfall, so Fleury heading that way.
This is a good check, good way to stop. We've seen Vanilla Demus a number of times in this tournament. For those who don't know, we have no free key items on, so finding the Demus and defeating makes Rydia's mom appear and miss and gives you a key item.
Fleury with those levels, if a hook is required from this Earth Crystal or from a hidden D-Mist, Fleury is in good shape, or at least better shape for the hook route than Gaming with the Wraith.
Yeah, and honestly, gonna be a better position just to go up Zot. Zot is 2 bosses that are pretty strong at times, and having a better level party can get you there. As Fleury is heading to take on this Golbas.
Welcome to Red Minia. Thanks for the raid.
Please remember to keep any spoilers from the race you just came from to a 0. Scarlet Kitty is lurking and will bonk you.
Yep, we're about a half hour into this seed. Our runners have not found a way underground yet.
I wonder if Fleury forgot what was up on Hobbs.
Or maybe it was Gaming with the Wraith who checked it in the first place.
No, I think they both checked it, because remember Fleury kind of hesitated on whether or not he wanted to take that fight.
Gaming with the Wraith is heading up the tower and is going to be opening chests, looking for that Flame Dog chest. We've seen that Flame Dog chest have some nice stuff in it.
Barabbas at the Brown. Fleury actually did do Fabul. That was Artemis arrows.
Yep, and so Gaming with the Wraith and Fleury are now even on checks. Gaming with the Wraith is a floor above Fleury at the moment because Fleury checked the Waterfall in the Mist Cave.
And finds the Flame Dog chest. I have found, not lately, definitely not in table seeds, but a number of seeds I've found some value in this Flame Dog chest.
Yeah, nice little infusion of experience. This party should be able to handle it. Gaming with the Wraith did pick up a Rydia.
Yeah, I think it was mostly for anchoring purposes. While Tella is slow, there's a Ninja Blade. Flame Dog chest has value, as long as you can find an edge. As we get a free fight here with the King Queen Emblem.
Yep, King Queen Evelyn, scripted battle fight. They do weak level 2 and 1 spells before regaining consciousness and fading away.
Yeah, I learned recently why they're so weak is because each of them only get one roll each on their damage multiplier here. So it doesn't matter how strong the magic is at a spot, their fire spells only get one roll.
It's not very effective. Flurry it through, and have we ever figured out whether it's better to burn out or to fade away?
I know I haven't figured it out.
That is a Palom at the top of the tower.
I would not be surprised if Flurry takes Palom.
Yep, the kid is a really remarkable black mage. Gets Quake and Virus super early. Can be useful at all stages of the game. And a Tella.
What? A 5-year-old was so much destruction potential. Just doesn't seem.
Well, that just makes him like every other 5-year-old, right?
My 5-year-old cannot cast Quake. If she could, we would be probably not doing commentary right now.
I mean, with the state of her room, do you think you could tell?
Oh, it's cleaned up right now.
D-Lunars here at the top. This isn't the worst spot for them.
It's not the worst, and with the levels Flurry has, not going to be too scared of them. Has fire arrows on Rosa, fire 3s on Tella. We're seeing the flame not doing a whole lot of damage. A lot of misses for the physical attacks.
Sid is being a chemist here because Sid's fight command would trigger a counter from these D-Lunars where they wall themselves up and bounce viruses off themselves, which can be very destructive.
And this spot actually has a pretty high magic attack, so you want to avoid that as much as possible.
And then since they are undead, Tella Cure 4s the remaining D-Lunar, and Flurry is through.
And what will be the next link in this chain? Will it be Underground or will it be Twin Heart?
Flurry going to fall from this tower like snow. And end up with a magma key.
Objective number 2 is in the bag.
And so our runners are just one item away from go mode.
And Flurry's about to just knock out 4 checks here really soon. Getting Underground, free check and Fey March, as I said, all 3 pan checks.
Yeah, you have to imagine he's not going to waste any time with anything else, maybe to see who those Fey March bosses are, just to, while he's in the neighborhood checking out those shops. But yeah, 4 checks all in a row when you only need 1 key item, definitely the efficient play.
And that key item is just gating you from go mode. In 2 senses, it's going to give you the grind. It's going to give you your crystal as well.
Yeah, the really popular grind on these flag sets has been in the Giant of Babel, which you summon using the Darkness Crystal, either the D-Machine grind or the Mac Giant grind, depending on whether you find Tella. So both these runners have found Tella. They know they need a Darkness Crystal sooner or later anyway, so they're both probably banking on that D-Machine grind.
And with 2 black mages waiting for Fleury and Mysidia, that will probably be the way to go, as he is flying immediately to go bonk Yang on the head with the pan.
Yep, Yang will, if you awaken him with the pan, he will say, sorry, I can't be of any help now, and give you a key item, which is of some help usually.
I personally like the suggestion and feedback and ideas of making the pan equipable as a helmet, and it prevents...
I like it. Leviathan Summon is interesting. Maybe makes the Rydia a little more palatable, but Fleury has to be thinking if things break the right way, he doesn't have to face many more bosses anyway.
Yeah, and with the bosses that Fleury will be facing, probably going to have Nuke on that Rydia.
Well, you can sell it.
Fleury is skipping the Fey March at first and going to return this pan to Sheila.
I do always appreciate that shopkeepers will accept summons that they can't possibly use. And Sheila has the goods. There's that Darkness Crystal. Fleury's in go mode.
Yeah, so the question will be, so he's going to get one more key item. He's at 8 now. Or 7. How many I can't count. He's at 7. Gonna get 8 with the crystal. Are you tempted to go get 10?
The problem is there's no really easy way to get 10. Dwarf Castle is 2 bosses for 1 key item. Tower, you don't have the tower key, so that's only 1 key item. Fey March is going to be tough. I think Fleury just goes.
Yeah, we just saw Gaming with the Wraith pick up a Twin Harp. That's another long check. If that was a tower key, then I would maybe go and get that.
But Gaming with the Wraith might be tempted to go check out Yang and then go to Sheila and pick up that Darkness Crystal himself.
Yes, for chat, the pass does not count as a key item in terms of the double XP bonus. Mr. 300, yes, there was an Edward. There is an Alt Gauntlet at Leviathan.
And that is ugly. And also some flavor of Mylon in the Astero spot. That would be a really nice ceremony to see all of them get married.
Yeah, I don't think we see Fleury go Eddie strats here. And the reason being is because we have the Tello, we have the Darkness already. We have 2 black mages sitting here in Tower Mysidia.
And Fleury will take 1 of each, please and thank you.
Yeah, D Machine into full reflect strats, definitely going to be faster than doing Eddie strats. And Gaming with the Wraith looks to maybe be thinking of taking on that Mylon.
Mylon's going to be quick here. With the gas, they'll get in a bunch of drains. But we'll see if Gaming with the Wraith has the levels for it.
I don't think we have found Ethers yet.
Gaming with the Wraith has 5 Ether 2s. I think we found them somewhere.
Maybe in the Fey March?
Could be. While we were being distracted about a shiny crystal.
Always distracts me, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Gaming with the Wraith resets out of that Mylon fight.
Yeah.
He was berserking his Sid and his Rosa, and they just weren't doing enough damage to make that a clean fight.
Was that Sheila 1 or Sheila 2 that had darkness?
That was Sheila 1.
So Gaming with the Wraith, if he checks his freebies, we'll be able to catch up here. That looks to be what he's doing.
So this will be very fortunate for him. He's probably not too enthused about potentially triple dipping Fabul, but he'll realize he won't have to. Sheila 2 was a ninja sword, by the way.
That's right. I totally spaced on that. I always forget the non-key items.
Now Fleury has parked his whale outside Baron and looks to be wandering around aimlessly. What's he doing, Bad Karma?
So we had a couple of community members, Simbu and Twisted Flex, come up with a way to take a few fights outside of Baron and guarantee that the next fight in the Giant in a specific room will be the D-Machine fight. That involves walking outside of Baron, counting your steps to see how many until you get into a fight, then consulting a chart that is on our Discord, and seeing based on how many steps until you got the fight, will tell you if you need to take more fights outside of Baron or if you're good to go and which room to go to.
Yeah, and it's not strictly necessary that the steps take place outside of Baron, but that's where it's easiest because that's where you start the game. Those are the easiest fights, and you can't run away from fights. So if you want to get through fights quickly and make sure that you have your step count manipulated, Baron's just the easiest place to do it.
And also the low amount of XP. If you're trying to set up a slingshot, you don't want to ruin that by doing it outside of like Mysidia or, in the underground or something like that, where you might get too much experience and now your slingshot's messed up as well.
Gaming with the Wraith has his Darkness Crystal, goes immediately to Mysidia. Gaming with the Wraith has one more character spot open. Has room for another Rydia or for a Palom. Is that where you would expect him to go?
I would expect he takes the Palom. The only one that I would consider outside of that would be maybe a Yang. We haven't seen one. And the only reason for that is just that huge health pool and how punchy Yang's going to get at the higher levels. Just depends on which strats Gaming with the Wraith is comfortable for. And it looks like Fleury has his manipulation all set up.
Yep, both Fleury and Gaming with the Wraith also officially have their crystals. Now, Gaming with the Wraith has 8 key items as well. I don't think he'll be fishing for 10 either.
Yeah, while it cuts down the number of D machines that you would need to do, I think when you are in full go mode like this, and the only options to you are Dwarf, Top of Tower, or Twin Harp, you don't want to be doing any of those long checks. If you're at 9, maybe doing something. Oh, Gaming with the Wraith is taking Edward.
Is the student becoming the teacher? This is interesting.
Yeah, the only downside to doing Eddie strats at this time is how slow. I think a good Eddie strat is, I want to say, 25 minutes? 30? Maybe chat can help me out here.
It does take a long time. Sometimes I fall asleep in the middle of it, but it is slow. I don't know if Gaming with the Wraith feels behind or feels ahead. Neither of these runners has had terrible roadblocks so far, so I don't know if either of them has reason to feel behind.
Yeah, the seed has been pretty giving. We can thank our Restreamer Ground Flyer for that. So I don't think either would really feel behind. I think they would probably just feel like, I think maybe Gaming with the Wraith is wondering if Fleury's already in there doing Eddie strats.
Goes outside of Troya. Bought a ton of Star Veils. has 60 some life potions.
Yeah, it doesn't need that.
Looks like Eddie Strats are go.
Getting his inventory all set up, has 30 tier 2s.
I don't remember seeing vampires at all. And Gaming with the Wraith hasn't picked up any other items that have really quick animation.
Yeah, that's going to make the fight a little slower by having to use the crystal to trigger these nukes. Not going to get any extra damage from the vampires. And we're starting to get some Z flags in our chat. Do you have an idea what these are for?
Yeah, at the end of this pass, where there used to be a bar, now there's a final boss. This final boss does not get moved around. Zeromus is just too big and too smelly and is just sitting right here. But we do give him a makeover every time. We change his sprite, and that leads us to the question, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Always, I hope it's flip table. There are over 460 different sprites, a number of them done by the wonderful Scala Kitty, who is hanging out in chat.
Gaming with the Wraith into this Z fight at less than 48 minutes. And we're really going to see two different strategies for grinding and going to Z, and we'll see who it pays off for. This is really exciting.
Yeah, the one thing Gaming with the Wraith can't do is have a wipe here. That is going to just cost so much time. Whereas Fleury is going to take a little bit longer. Needs about 7 or 8 D machines total, and I have not been keeping track on how many he's done.
Oh, are you too much of a coward to do math on screen?
Always.
On screen?
I can't even count.
Monica must.
Again, this is the second time I've seen this sprite leak. I believe it's Doki Doki Literature Club.
That counter nuke goes to Rydia, which is just about the perfect person to take that.
Honestly, the perfect person to take it is Ed.
Because he does have the Star Veil up already, and this is the first application of that Star Veil.
And while we have the grind going, we have Eddie Strad's Zeromus fight underway. I do want to give a quick shout out to our Restreamer, Ground Flyer, our tracker, girl named Captain, and to my co-commentator, Sheep Launcher. Please give the Restream team a follow, and also give our runners a follow. They've been putting on an excellent race for us. As Gaming with the Wraith does a reset.
And heading back into Dwarf Castle.
This is...
I don't know if he let his mind wander there for a second or what.
Yeah, I think that's what happened there.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on Battle Speed 3, but something about that fight made him a little uncomfortable. He's going to reset and try again.
Yeah, and if you're going to reset in Eddie Strats, you want to have the wherewithal to recognize it early. Because of how long an Eddie Strat fight is, if you feel like you need to reset, you got to definitely do it sooner rather than later. And Gaming with the Wraith, not like in the setup, wisely does the reset and he's going right back in.
Yeah, Eddie didn't hide in time. And, you know, if you're going to... if Eddie's going to get stung by a Big Bang, better there than on the 10th Big Bang.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I do not know Eddie Strats very well is because I do not have the attention span to count and make sure that I'm nerfing every single one of these big bangs. That just goes to show the quality of our runners here to be able to pull something like this off. Is it looks like Fleury is finishing up his.
Yeah, going to knock down that Tella. And we'll see how Fleury's leveling did. 560,000 experience.
So that'll be doubled for Palom. That'll be 1,000,000 experience. I believe that is enough. Looks like Gridea might be short.
Gridea got nuke.
Oh, okay.
Rosa short of white, but I don't think Fleury will mind.
Yeah, and Palom, Rosa getting Cure 4 is what Fleury is looking for there, I think, the most. Palom definitely gets nuke for 45 levels.
Monica Miss, meanwhile, thinking so little of gaming with the Wraith's party that she is looking askance.
I don't even know what that word means.
Not at them, basically. She's just looking at us like, can you believe these jokes?
What was that? She went a little robot again.
Off a Walter or a hidden Eddie.
Yep, as Eddie was successfully able to dodge the Big Bang, gonna get a Star Veil back up, and here we go. As Fleury is gonna be joining Gaming with Wraith in the Zeromus fight with a completely different strategy. Won't lie, I almost said strategy there.
And Fleury should go a lot faster than Gaming with the Wraith. Gaming with the Wraith doesn't know it yet, but he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe there was a little metagaming going on where Gaming with the Wraith thought Fleury was going to go Eddie strats and just felt that needed to be able to match it.
And this is where too much scouting can sometimes work against you.
Do you think that Gaming with the Wraith was metagaming with the Spectre?
I think he was metagaming with the Ghost even. Imperial Dragon in chat shows up. Yeah, she knows Gaming with the Wraith. Says he doesn't watch races, so this is a perfectly legitimate thing to do, and we'll see if Fleury can catch up.
I have double the Monica here for us as we get through these Zeromus fights. Looks like Gaming with Wraith does have his groove going, has everything timing out, has the crystals going, reflecting nukes.
I'm seeing double. 4 Monicas.
You need to get your eyes checked.
So I know enough, just enough about Eddie strats to be dangerous, and that's basically once you see a shake after a big bang, that's when it's time to hide.
Yep, hide when you see the shake, return once the big bang is done, make sure you just wait to redo the Star Veil when you expect the black hole.
Meanwhile, Fleury quad 9 nuke.
I threw a bluff on his Palom.
That Sid is a very good person to put that Star Veil on, even if an unnerved Big Bang slips through, Sid will tank it just fine.
And just seeing so much nuke going on both streams.
Yeah, but you can see how much more damage Fleury is putting out. Fleury doing more in the cure than the reflected nukes are doing on Gaming with the Wraith side.
Question in chat, what does doing the crystal do? Gaming with the Wraith is using the crystal to trigger a counter nuke from Threemus. Essentially, Threemus treats using the crystal as a black magic spell, so we'll initiate the counter nuke. There's, Fleury or Gaming with the Wraith was not able to find anything else that could trigger it that would go a little faster. So that's why the crystal's being thrown out.
Technically, poke Threemus down, that's the G.
A lot of runners like to do vampires because it does about 400 damage. We weren't able to find vampires in a timely manner, and they're kind of expensive. Ooh, that was a big bang there. This Rosa is gonna run out of health.
Ooh.
I don't think Monica Miss for Fleury has that much health left, though, with how strong those nukes were from the kids. Looks like Fleury's just going for it.
Yeah, it's a bold play. Must think that either counting damage or thinks he's close enough to it.
Question in chat from Kamal404. We randomized the Threemus sprite. There are 460 variations. As there's the flash for Fleury. Please get your GGs in chat for Fleury, and we will see about getting him in here for an interview.
Fleury gets his way into the last 16, most likely, with a sub-hour run on this seed. A very good game by Fleury14. As that Monica mess trails away into nothing, it looks like we are joined by our winner, Fleury14. Fleury, GG.
Thank you. I can breathe now.
So it looked like a fairly fast seed from the start. What were you thinking when you saw those objectives?
I was actually pretty okay with that. I would have liked to have maybe like a second key item that was buried a little farther, but at least it meant chances were pretty good that the moon decision wasn't really going to come into play. And coming into this race, that was like my big concern, is if I guess wrong on the moon and lose. So was pretty thankful for that. But I like every relatively fast seed is going to have its own little bit of stress, and this one was no different.
Anytime you can post a sub-hour on a table seed, that's it definitely shows that you played it right. You and Game with the Wraith definitely were following each other most of the way, doing each other's checks, so it definitely seemed very straightforward.
Yeah, I actually thought doing the Odin spot was going to actually end up costing me. Seeing where Darkness Crystal was, I was like, well, that's like a minute and a half, plus the walkout, 2.5 minutes, maybe more, that my opponent might not have done. And then thinking about it afterwards, because I happened to get the pan, which is pretty lucky, I went and did Sheila first, whereas, if you don't do the Odin spot, it's very likely you do Fey March first, you do shopping, you check the bosses, so I might have gained a couple minutes there.
Yeah, and that is what Gaming with the Wraith did. Went and did Fey March. Did find Ether 2s down there, though, so was set up to do a D-Machine grind, but ended up going with Eddie Strats.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I thought about Eddie Strats. Last time I had timed it out, on my previous fight, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of like 19 minutes. And I have the 6x2 D machine down to roughly just over 10 minutes. Now there was a little more spaghetti on that particular D machine fight, so it wasn't exactly 10 minutes. But I figured that plus a 5-minute Z fight and a pass, I figured, I'd save a couple minutes by not doing Eddie Strats, but it definitely crossed my mind.
Yeah, I heard you in the general channel before saying you were going to have to decide if you were going to go with Eddie again or not.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it. I've already done it twice this tournament. I prefer not to complete the hat trick, but sometimes the seed throws that at you. I just felt like a grind would have been, especially with 2 black mages. If I didn't have 2 black mages and Ground Flyer decides to throw a bunch of Tellas and Edwards at me, then I probably do Eddie's strats there. But fortunately, that wasn't the case.
You got to give your opponents some tape to chew on. Now they know.
Well, there's plenty of tape of me out there if anyone wants to watch it.
So you go to 4 and 2. I can't say for sure, but it looks like you're in the Sweet 16. Have you thought about who you'll encounter there, what your expectations are for that?
Yes, I have, and there will be a little bit of a clue pre-music check. But yeah, 4-2 does get me in, and seeing who's drafted, I was in the same quadrant as Dusty last year, so if he picks me, that's okay. I wouldn't mind that. Dia, perhaps you've heard, we've played a few times. So while I love a chance to run a set with Dia, I have already faced her once in this tournament. Same thing if Possum ends up being a drafter. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I very, very much want PK to draft me. I'm sure he's watching. So yeah, PK, you better draft me. You better do it now. Well, I guess you can't do it now, but you better do it. I want a set with you, and I want it in the round of 16.
What are you gonna do to him if you encounter him in the round of 16?
If I had to take a guess, I would say win 2 races by 10 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be close. It'll be close.
Commit to it.
Okay, yes, I beat him. And no lie, I feel like that's my best chance to win. But at the same time, PK and I have done tons of pickup races. We give each other banter back and forth. As bad as my trash talk is, I'm sure I would attempt something of it. This is and say something like, "This is one Sweet 16 you are not going to get out of. Sorry, Michigan State." But it'd be fun. I just want to have a fun match. There's going to be 16 incredible racers at this point, and while it's a joy to run a set with them, I'd like to have some fun with it, and I feel a set with BK would be pretty good to have Michigan State get bopped by Fresno State in the round of 16.
I mean, It really sounds like, and I can't quite, put my finger on it. It sounds like you really want Dusty to roll you into his quadrant. I mean, that's what I'm getting out of this, right?
I mean, why don't you ask me about the King Queen Evelyn spot too? but no, I mean, if I would love to get a chance to run a set with Dusty too. That would be fun. I also would like to, at some point in this tournament, get a set in with Penguinator. Obviously, my 2-2 partner and probably the person who I've learned the most out of Free Enterprise from. So, like, getting to go up against my, for lack of a better term, Free Enterprise sensei would be pretty awesome. And yeah, so I mean, whoever I end up going against with, I'm going to be happy with. It's just, pick me, PK, you coward.
Well, how much prettier are you than PK? Is that why he won't pick you?
Oh, he's got me destroyed on that front. No question. If that was the case, I'm going 0-6 in round of 32. So he's got me there.
Well, I don't have any further questions. I do want to say good luck to you in the future. I will be looking forward to the rest of your races. Sheep Launcher, you have anything else?
No, Fleury is our runner of power. Too sweet to be sour. Funky like a monkey, calling out PK. And best of luck to you in the round of 16.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys taking the time to do commentary. The tracking and the restreaming. Thank you, Ground Flyer, for not running a evil wall at Leviathan that was required. And also want to definitely give a shout out to my opponent, Gaming with a Wraith, who had to kind of schedule himself for 6 consecutive matches, I think, on 6 consecutive days, and that's not an easy thing to do. So, like, I very much appreciate it. And I guess leave with the mandatory invent sus. And yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, GG's. Really look forward to seeing more races from you.
Gaming with the Wraith still plugging away at this Monikamus. Fleury just thanked them, but I'd like to thank once again our restreamer Ground Flyer, our tracker who did a great job tonight, girl named Captain, and Bad Karma. Give all of those folks a follow. You won't regret it.
And don't forget Sheep Launcher as well. It's a 2-man crew up here. Oh, Fleury said that it was gonna have a message. As we get the flash over on Gaming with the Wraith side, please get your GGs in chat.
That was a very well done Eddie strat. Gaming with the Wraith putting on a clinic, coming in second place at 1 hour and 9 minutes on the dot.
We'll see about getting Gaming with the Wraith in here for an interview. As we're joined, Gaming with the Wraith, GG.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a very nicely done Eddie fight. When did you decide to go with the Eddie strats?
As soon as I hit go mode, I was just like, I need Eddie strats. I'm racing somebody good, so I better just do this and get it over with.
Yeah, it's not a terrible decision. It just so happened Fleury has been known to do Eddie strats, so we were wondering if maybe that was the case, that you were expecting Fleury to also do it, but Fleury went with just a straight D machine. So while you got into the Zeromus fight first, Fleury was just grinding away and just had the pure reflect.
Yeah, I have no clue that Fleury does Eddie strats or not. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of racing, because if I have time to watch racing, I have time to be practicing, so I need to just be practicing. So I didn't know that going in. I just decided, well, we're gonna just, I'm set for Eddie strats. I have the 5th character slot. I have an Eddie. I know where Star Veils are. I have cash. Let's go.
What did you think when you saw those objectives and a Sid start?
Immediately I was expecting low level. So, like, getting the Sid that quick was just like, okay, that's cool. At worst, I have to go into Evelyn and just do a couple kills, do a couple chests there to get Sid up to health. But yeah, I was at that point, I'm just like low level probably.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you are 1-5. You were already eliminated from going to the top 16. I've seen a number of your matches, though. You're a very excellent racer. So, hope to look forward to seeing you in future tournaments as well.
Yep, I haven't missed one yet, so I'll be doing the next one.
I wanted to ask, was this tournament fun, rewarding? Did you learn anything new? What are your takeaways from this one?
I always have fun with these. I love playing Final Fantasy IV, so for me this is fun time. Takeaways from it, I've gotten a lot better than when I started, and that's always my number one goal. It's have fun and get better. That's literally on my timer. That's literally what it says for my objective is get better, have fun.
Those are worthy objectives, certainly, and the certainly your play has improved, and everybody's play has really improved, and that's something really special to see.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a lot of fun. I always enjoy doing this, so.
Well, that's all I have. You ran an excellent race. Like I said, everything, while it was a pretty linear race, both you and Fleury were, making the same checks one after the other. It was still very well done. So, congratulations to you on that. GG's. Sheep Launcher, you got anything else?
No, I just wanted to say congratulations on a great tournament, Gaming with the Wraith, and look forward to seeing you again.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Thank you for Restreamed. Thank you for everybody that does commentating, tracking, everything. Like I said, it's always a ton of fun. So, yeah. Thanks and GG to everyone.
GG's again as well to you. On that note, that is the end of our race here on RPG Limit Break, but we are not done with Free Enterprise. We do have another race that we're going to be sending you to. We have a HTT3Z versus Zyrak going on over on our parent station of Free Enterprise, so we will be raiding over there here shortly. I want to do a final shout out to our Restreamer Ground Flyer and our tracker, a girl named Captain, it was her first time, so good job there.
Yeah, and before we go, there will be another table flag race on RPG Limit Break tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Mecha versus Actual JP. Also another race at 8 p.m. Eastern on Free Enterprise tomorrow, but for now, we are headed over to Free Enterprise.
Hopefully we'll see you all there. And please be sure to keep any spoilers from this race to a 0 in case anybody who's over on Free Enterprise was not over here and wants to be able to catch this, catch the video for this one. And we will see you all next time. Everybody have a great night.
So long.